Debbie Pask from Rezinate here. Welcome to the monthly energy wrap. I just wanted to give you a bit of an experience of where I've recently moved. I have moved to a different part of Australia where I'm on an 80-acre rainforest, and James and I are loving this new life. That's my little pod. It's a little bit messy at the moment, but I wanted to give you an idea of where I'm positioned and stationed when I talk to you, when I teach in this beautiful rainforest area in a little pod located with my horses just straight in front of me so I can see them as I'm working and teaching and coaching. So that's my first point for the 4 parts to today. I wanted to talk about regulation, environment, unity, and physical action, but environment being the first one. I don't think we truly understand about how important our environment is, where we operate from, where we work from, where we live, how we go about life. When we have our environment centered and in the way that we need it to be, we can operate with such greater ease. I know for myself, where I was located in Australia was just too hot. It was too steamy. I was often very uncomfortable. There was just so much going on in that environment that even though I could operate and regulate, it took more energy and more effort. And so moving to a cooler place, it has given me an opportunity to be calmer, more regulated, more connected to my environment, more in tune and harmonies. If there's anything I'd encourage you to do for the rest of this year in 2026, it's to look at your environment. How's it set up? How's it working for you? Is it conducive to you really loving the way that you do life? What do you need to change or modify or shift? I know that if something's out of whack in your environment energetically, it takes up too much energetic and mental real estate, and you're always compensating. So there's a tightness and a compensation if your environment's not okay for you. Doesn't mean you have to rip off the Band-Aid and move immediately. It just means how could you modify it, change it, shift it, go other places, explore other environments to really thrive. And that includes location and land, home, house, work environment, who you hang out with, where you get your coffee from, if you drink coffee. So yeah, that's the first out of 4 points, environment, and how important your energetic environment is to your health and wellness and your ability to regulate. The second thing is it's the concept of regulation. Now, regulation is a very therapeutic and based kind of idea in many ways, but it really makes sense when you think of it in an energetic or a spiritual way. Regulation is probably one of the most powerful states that we can embody in this physical avatar in this lifetime. And that is the ability to stay calm and centered and clear and focused and heart beating easily and rhythmically under different levels of stress. So let's face it, we're going to have conflict and stress come up in our lives. We're going to have things go well and things go not so well. Look at the world at the moment and what's going on. There's a lot of crisis control that we sometimes need to embody, as well as both locally and globally. But if you can stay regulated, and what that really means is I can bring myself back to calm, I can breathe easily, I can find my sense of peace. That's an inside job. So no matter what's going on in the external world, it's an inside job. And I think a lot of people ask me, how do I stay so calm and peaceful? It's because I've learned that energetic art of regulation, of being able to be okay with whatever is going on in my external world, because we can't control that. That's a 50-50. So it might work out, it might not, it might rain, it might not. So being able to come back to your inner world, it doesn't mean you don't get ruffled. It just means that you practice awareness of noticing what's happening, and then you choose to come back into a stiller place. So that's the second point, regulation. The third one is unity. So, over a lot of years, I've been around for a while in this industry, and over a lot of years, I've seen both in politics and government, in business, talk about diversification and honoring diversity. And I totally agree with that. We're all different. We're all unique. I mean, if you really wanted to look at the true meaning of diversity, every single person is completely diverse. We've got our own fingertips. We're unique. No one can be our blueprint. We're all completely diverse. However, there are common threads that hold us together, that are commonalities or ways to be unified. So the word unity is about looking for common ground with people so that you can actually exist here pleasantly and peacefully. So if someone doesn't have the same spiritual outlook with you, do they have the same, home interior design feelings? Do they have the same love for exercise? Do they have the same love for comedy? How are they similar to you in a way that you can connect and converse with that feels good and honest and with authenticity? So unity is such a powerful thing. What is it that I have in common with someone else that I can actually connect on rather than being stressed about the differences or noticing too many differences? When you find that unity, there's a peacefulness in your relationship. And of course, if you don't have anything in common with anyone and they're completely not out in your value system, then yeah, let them go. Let them go on their own path and journey. And lastly, the physical actions. When you think about spirituality and doing your work and meditating and doing all things of a spiritual nature, we can often forget that there's a physical power in the action. So when we decide metaphysically what we want or spiritually what we want, there is a backup and a physical action to follow. And last year, being Year of the Snake, was all about that shedding and those spiritual decisions around what we want to clear out and let go of. This year is about acting. It's the fire energy. Is there a fire in your belly? Is there a fire in your heart? Is there a fire in your mind? That's the three centers, belly, heart, mind, which you think about it, gut, heart, brain. If you think about it that way, this year is really asking you to get a fire in your belly and go do those things. So we are going to be forced to feel a little bit frustrated until we act. We are going to have to put the rubber to the road. We are going to have to start doing those physical cleanup actions that we promised our spirit last year in that shedding, transformative decision making. Last year felt more about decision making. This year's about action. Pushing through frustration, pushing through things that are gritty or hurt is really important, but putting action into place. So I know I've done a lot of action in the first 3 months of this year. I've moved house. I've changed bank account details. I've reorganized finance. I've done a lot of those things that really I dislike that aren't peaceful, exciting, spiritual nature connecting things. There are a lot of mundane physical things that I've done, but they feel really good energetically. Yeah, I'd encourage you to make a list of your top 3 actions that maybe it's that eat the frog where you have to do it, but you've been putting it off. Or maybe they're just 3 easy things that will really transform the way that you feel about yourself and bring back some of that mental and emotional and spiritual real estate that's been out of whack or sticking in the background that's creating difficulty in life. So yes, if you think about those 4 things, get your environment right, learn regulation, find unity with others, and do those physical actions. I think that is such a game changer for us at the moment in the current energy, especially with all of this Aries astrology, like really pushing us at the moment. I think they're really great ideas. Enjoy and love to hear how you go with that. Thank you.